robust urban garlic flavor.
Robust content. That's right. It is robust.
I'll just start off this video by saying I don't really care if DSP quits a game. As someone who plays a lot of games, obviously you are going to have to mix and match and figure out what things your audience will pay for and what things your audience won't pay for if you are a streamer who relies solely on live stream revenue as DSP does. The only game that I really was annoyed at him quitting was Mario Kart because that was just hilarious. But the other games is like, okay, yeah, some things just aren't going to click. But most of the time, it's because Phil can't pull anything out of the games. He doesn't understand that he has to make the game experience entertaining because it's a DSP live stream. It is not a Hades live stream. It is not a Silksong live stream. It's a DSP gaming live stream. He doesn't understand that he is the focal point, even though he has an entire podcast where he talks about things and makes himself the focal point. Why he doesn't do that with the games? I don't know. And that's probably why DSP struggles when OnlyIcedCoffee is not there, because OnlyIcedCoffee doesn't care about every single game. He just picks and chooses what he wants Phil to play, and Phil doesn't realize that. And then Phil goes on a tirade where he blames his entire audience when it's really the 5 whales, however many he has, that gives him money. If they're not feeling it, they're not feeling it.
So here's the deal. I love Hades too. I'm having a great time with it, but I'm going to be honest, there aren't a lot of people who are really showing up to talk about the game. There aren't a lot of people who are engaging when I play the game, and tonight was literally the polar opposite of the last time with support. Last time we had more than a goal and we were doing well. I don't know what happened.
As always, the initial interest waned off and DSP was more reliant on the whale to hit the goal, and the whale did not show up today. That's what happened, Phillips. It's not rocket science. He would be so much happier working at a job where he knows where he's getting paid every hour.
So, I don't know. I tried it. Guys, I tried to play the game. You guys were screaming at me for not playing Hades 2. I told you we should probably wait till a time when there's nothing a lot going on other games. You guys said you wanted it. Here we are, second stream already. It's dead. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, this is a recurring pattern. Phil's fans tell him, hey, we want to see this game, because Phil's like, oh, do you want to see this game? And they're like, yeah, and they'll say that for any single game. What Phil doesn't realize is that doesn't mean they're going to pay you to play the game. You have to prove it to them. An 18-year legacy is not proof, Phil. What is happening now is the proof that they're going to go by. It's, what have you done for me lately? That's just the reality of it, Phil.
So if you're watching on demand, I mean, if you got any suggestions, I don't know. I'm playing as well as I can. You know, I'm implementing the things I learned in the first run a year and a half ago. I think I'm doing better than I had done last time. But I don't know what else to say.
He's so stupid, and all that he talks about is skill. Phil, you are not a streamer where people come to you for the skill. The reality is people come to see you beg for the spectacle of it because you're not entertaining. And the thing is, if you even ask them, what can I do to be more entertaining? They're going to give you a variety of options that you may or may not be good at, but we know most of the stuff you're terrible. It's just something that's not quantifiable. You have to put the effort in. You have to put the energy in. It's not just clicking inputs effectively. But the thing is, the skill level is where you can improve. The entertainment factor, you've left yourself with no room for growth.
Right? I don't know. Extreme Machine says, but when Hades 1, when you played Hades 1, a lot of people had already played it and could help you. No, that's what it is. This game, hold on, it's loud. The music is loud. This game's been out for a year and a half, guys. This is not a new game. The game has been in early access for a year and a half.
Yeah, it's not necessarily whether Phil's bad at the game, but he's going to be like, yeah, this game has been out for over a year. So it means my audience is not going to like it, even though I said the month prior, hey, you guys are supporting Suikoden 2. You give me the option to not play AAA games anymore. But guess what? He's playing games late, and they aren't getting supported. So, like, what is going on? This indie game did not help, I guess.
So it's not that. I'm going to be honest with you. It's like I said, this game is not mainstream popular. This game is popular amongst a niche crowd of PC gamers who flooded to play it for the first few days. But outside of the PC gaming hardcore crowd, this is not resonating like other games.
But Phil, you yourself have a very niche audience. So what we're seeing here is this game is just not resonating with a whale, because the reality is, what makes or breaks your stream is whether somebody decides to give you a $50 to $100 tip or not. That's all it is. Like, you were complaining, like, hey, you're saying this game, Like, the last time you played it, the only difference between the first time you played it and the second time was somebody gave you a $100 tip, allegedly. From your actual fans that give you small donations or medium-sized donations, the support stayed the same.
Right now, a lot of people are talking about a bunch of other games that are out. Hades 2 is not getting much discussion. It's getting some play on Steam, but it's not getting much discussion.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if it has hype among the general gaming community. You have a very small audience. If they like it or dislike it, has nothing to do with outside forces. OnlyIcedCoffee is playing for Silksong. There must be a reason. It's probably because he thinks it's funny that you're so bad at the game.
I think people were happy to see me do it that first time, but already the second stream, literally the second stream that I play the game, way low attendance. Take a look. 160 people on YouTube. How many people are watching on Kick? 60? See what I mean? Even attendance is way down.
It's not way down, but it's a little below the average. The thing is, Phil doesn't realize that after the first time you do something, there's diminishing returns, and that's especially true for game playthroughs. Phil, if you were entertaining, you wouldn't have this problem where you had automatically lower support the second time you play a game. But here's the thing, you don't cultivate an audience based on you being entertaining, you cultivate an audience based on you begging. So the games aren't going to help you out much.
So I hate to say it, it sucks because I really like this game, but if we can't get people to show up and if we can't get people to support, what am I going to do?
You know, 9 out of 10 times when he's dropping a game, he says that he likes it, even though I'm kind of doubtful about that, him liking many games, if any, at this point. Like, he's saying to his audience, hey, I like this, you need to pay for it so I can keep playing it. And it rarely ever works. If OnlyIcedCoffee wasn't there, Phil wouldn't even be making $1,000 a week, let's be real. Especially with his goal set at $150, because people are going to realize, hey, we're not going to hit the goal, so we'll just stay at $25 because the quality of the entertainment is not that good.
There's a million other games out right now that people want. People want me to play Super Mario Odyssey 2, which I've always wanted to play. And I forewent that because you guys said you wanted Hades 2.
And it's like, let's be real. Why is Phil even doing viewership polls at this point? Because we all know the trolls are going to vote on it and skew it one way or the other. But even his main audience of 200 people, it's like most of them are there to clip him anyway. And the other ones, hey, if they're not supporting, I'm gonna be serious here. Since Phil doesn't edit his content, he basically has to listen to the whales and what they want because otherwise he gets no money. That's the position Phil finds himself in. So it's really, most of his audience, 95% of them, their opinion or input doesn't matter because it doesn't make Phil money. Now they may have good feedback or good suggestions, but all that matters is if the whales give him money, because if the whales don't give him money, he's gonna be hurting. That's the hole that Phil has dug for himself.
So now I don't know what to do, to be honest with you, at all, because it's kind of mixed signals. The first stream doing well, the second stream doing incredibly poorly.
How moronic this is, if you take away that one $100 tip Phil got, the difference between those two streams would have been $13 in support. Phil doesn't get it. He should really be thinking about what is the average contribution and how many contributions I get versus the grand total. Because he's giving his fans a lecture because somebody didn't give him a $100 tip. That's the only thing that changed from one stream to the next. This is how stupid Phil is and ungrateful he is. He just doesn't get anything. He doesn't get that there's an ebb and flow. He doesn't get that there are some days he's gonna do well. And he doesn't get, hey, if he played Hades again, he may get $300. It's just the way it is. But because Phil is such a panhandler, because he's such an e-beggar, he struggles immensely to hit goals when OnlyIcedCoffee or another whale doesn't feel like giving him money.
That's a definitely mixed signal. Again, I don't want to keep this in the rotation if no one cares. What I noticed tonight, chat was dead.
The chat is always dead, Phil, because you have such strict rules that people are afraid of getting banned. So they're just like, I'm not going to talk about something unless it's really about the game.
Like, most people weren't talking to me and tagging me at all. The few that were even talking about completely off-topic stuff. Like, no one cared about the game. I could just do a stream where I just talk with you guys for 2 hours and it would have had more engagement and interest than what we just did. You understand?
Yeah, and that's becoming a common theme nowadays where a lot of the games Phil plays, you would just be better off doing a hangout session. Yeah, DSPgaming is very slowly dying, and he doesn't get it. It's all propped up by OnlyIcedCoffee, and if OnlyIcedCoffee decides one day, hey, I'm not going to support Phil any longer, the business is done.
So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. Kick wasn't dead? What a lie. Dude, Kick was freaking dead. 4+ minutes, no one said a word in Kick. 4 minutes. That never happens. Kick is always happening and talking. No one was paying attention whatsoever. So,
You know, he wouldn't be having this complaint if that $100 tipper decided to give money today as well. All of this would have just been pushed under the rug. That's what Phil's not telling you. His streams are always like this. The reality is, what makes the difference if his whale comes in or not?
I don't know what to tell you guys. Again, the only thing I can say is I did have a major stream of this scheduled for next week. I believe it was either Monday or Tuesday. I had it in the browser here. So I had it scheduled for Tuesday. All right. If something changes, like we do get some people who come by and they're like, hey, FYI, we couldn't be there for the late stream and that sucks. We can only be there for day streams for Hades and we want to see it and we'll support it. Or if someone comes by and says, hey, this is a contribution for Hades because I wasn't here for the stream, I'll be like, all right, maybe it was just an off night. But honestly, right now, I'm incredibly skeptical about playing this game on Tuesday. I'm actually thinking I should do Mario Galaxy 2 instead.
Yeah, in this case, he's right. It wasn't necessarily an off day. The only off day was that a whale didn't support. And let's be real, those makeup goals are not for his fans that are like, oh, I'm going to give Phil $5. It's for the whale. If the whale wants the game played again, the whale's going to say, here, Phil, here's $70. You might as well just call it the OnlyIcedCoffee goal because there's not going to be a rallying support where 20 people decide, hey, I'm going to give Phil $5 each to save a game. Because here's the thing, he cycles through games. So, like, why bother spending money to see one more playthrough or see one more stream of a game when he's already giving you 12 other streams? And he's just as likely to quit the playthrough again if a whale doesn't show up the next time. This is why Phil, who describes himself as a successful streamer by how much he expects you to give him money, struggles to hit the goals because he really isn't. He's only successful at eBegging.
Just being honest, I think that judgment of what just happened, how quickly this died, within 2 streams, no one cares.
Yeah, apparently his fans giving him $72 for 2 hours of gameplay is not caring. I love how Phil thinks he's entitled to $75 an hour because he plays video games. Just because people give it to you doesn't mean you're worth it, Phil. It's only that they perceive you as being worth it. To the greater internet masses, they don't think your content is good. But what any other level-headed streamer would be like, okay, well, I'll take what I can get. If people like what I do, I will continue to do it to please them. Phil has to have a whole rant about it like every other week because he knows he's the laughingstock of the internet.
Okay, so it is what it is. I'd like feedback. We have till Tuesday to figure it out. I am disappointed. I was certainly hoping that tonight was going to be better. I don't know what else to say, right?
Yeah, and if you tell Phil you weren't funny or engaging or entertaining, you need to talk more when you're playing the game, he will just ban you. The only feedback he wants is in the form of dollars, specifically either grants or Benjamins. And it's like you really get a picture of how small Phil's audience is when his on-demand videos don't get many comments at all. Nobody super thanks, even though he requests it, and then the chatters on his actual live streams are slim pickings. This is all kabuki theater that's just propped up by a couple people, and Phil doesn't realize that. He may claim he's successful, but he really isn't. A successful streamer doesn't have to rely on a few people giving you tons of money. A successful streamer has a large group of supporters and viewers that enjoy their content for the entertainment value, not because they want to mock the person.
All right, well, guys, let's see what happens. Seriously, I want feedback. And we'll see what happens between now and Tuesday, but this very well could be the last stream of this game. I don't know what else to say.
And as of right now, on his on-demand videos, nobody has given him feedback, because they're not going to do that unless they get a live reaction out of Philip.
Well, them's the breaks, folks. I don't know what else to do. I gave it a shot. I really did. I was hoping for the best, and that did not go well in any way. Did it? No, absolutely not. People are saying Mario. Look at that. People in chat, yeah, Mario. Again, that game is good. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I really like Hades. I like Hades 1 and 2. But
DSP's whales won't pay for indie games. That's just what it is. And the rest of his audience don't really give him money anyway.
That's for like a niche audience. It really is. Like it's for an established niche audience. And for some reason, that audience isn't here. When I played Hades 1, it was because I hadn't played it in years, right? Like, I'd skipped it. And when it finally hit consoles, people asked me to try it. I did, and I ended up, like, really loving it. I did. I thought it was amazing. Something unique and different that I never really played before. But I think what happened is this game killed its own hype by doing the early access the way that it did.
Mind you, when he's talking about hype for the game, he's only talking about in relation to his streams. He doesn't care about anything else. He just has to find an excuse for why his whales won't support this game other than himself.
And coming out when it did. I think if I was playing Hades 2 in the dead of summer and there was no other games out, people would be more interested.
Yeah, Phil's audience that pretty much only watches Phil is going to be bored because they're watching other streamers. Dude, if they were watching other streamers, they wouldn't be watching you because they'd realize, hey, this Phil guy isn't on the level.
But dude, right now, you've got so many big games going on right now. Seriously. People want to see all their stuff. And Hades 2 ain't it because it's been out for a year and a half already. I really do think the way they released it, they screwed the game over.
Yeah, but if you were entertaining, these issues wouldn't really matter. That's what is completely flying over your head, and we tell you this all the time, but you never understand it because it makes you look in the mirror and realize, hey, I'm a terrible streamer.
Well, guys, sorry, but, what can I say? Like I said, we have until Tuesday to figure it out. Let me put it this way. If I get convinced otherwise by Tuesday, then we'll do a daytime stream of Hades 2.
What he means by that is if OnlyIcedCoffee comes along and say, hey, Phil, here's $100 super chat, go play Hades 2. I just happened not to be there, even though I totally was lurking in the shadows, just not giving money. Phil doesn't realize that going on and on about this is just ridiculous. If it didn't hit the goal, you just say, hey, it didn't hit the goal, I'm not playing it. He doesn't have to go on for 8 minutes talking about this. He doesn't realize that not being concise is a big reason he has so many trolls, because they can pull a ton out of him. If he's more tight-lipped, if he gives like a sentence or two, it's hard to make content out of that. It's hard to clip that. But him going on and on and on, yeah, that is troll bait.
If I don't get convinced, then we're going to start Mario Galaxy 2 instead. All right? I think that's the better move.
And everybody would prefer Mario Galaxy 2, especially because it's just more fun to make fun of him when he's not playing a Nintendo game well. This indie game, if he's bad at it, like, whatever. But if it's a Nintendo game, it becomes 10 times funnier.
That's it. So, like I said, maybe someone comes by and says, hey, I couldn't be there on a night stream, but I can only be there for day streams, and I'll support it on day streams. Or people are like, hey, here's a contribution. Sorry that, I wasn't there, but let's hit that goal after the fact or whatever. I'm down for that. But I don't know, that was really a disappointing stream for me. Like, I'm actually legit disappointed with how that just went. You had all these people sitting here saying, oh, no, you're going to drop the game. None of you supported the stream. None of you. None of the people who were complaining actually supported it in any way. So, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, because most of those people are LARPers, but the ones who don't, they're like, I don't have enough money to afford to give Phil $50 to save games. I may not even have $5, but even if I give him $5, but it's not going to get you any closer to the goal because it's not like it's going to lead to a Congo line train of 10 people giving $5. It's all about if the whale shows up. That is what people are waiting for because they know you don't have a large group of supporters, and that's why it's so tough to hit goals when whales don't whale out.
All right. Well, overall, this was a good week. Overall, this week was actually an exceptional week.
The funny thing is the 4-day week that he had 2 weeks ago, he made about the same amount of money as he did this week. It was not a good week for him except that he continuously hit goals. He did not get double goals. He did not get showered with money. He just got given $2,000 this week, which is low for him, or like in the low average range.
We had lots of fun. It was a super long week, right? Like so long of a week, but we had lots of fun. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate 8 straight days of attention and support was great. Okay, so thank you for that, really. All right, I am off tomorrow. Finally, I get a day off to spend with my wife.
Yeah, it still boggles my mind how Phil chooses to run errands on Saturdays of all things. Maybe he likes that it's so busy because if he did it on a weekday, he'd be done in a couple hours, whereas if he does it on a weekend, it's going to take him longer, so it takes up more of his time.
I'll be back on Sunday. There will be a Level 1 podcast in the morning. We'll be doing another day stream of Call of Duty Black Ops 7's beta. And the night stream is the conclusion of Silent Hill F. All right? So I hope you'll join me for that. And then Monday, if you're interested, Silk Song
Yeah, he's got to make sure OnlyIcedCoffee knows that he's playing Silk Song When, because that is the one OnlyIcedCoffee wills out on.
All right, and then Monday night, I believe we're doing, hold on. Sonic Racing Crossworlds. We're trying it as a night stream because people did not show up for the last day stream. I said, well, then let's try it as a night stream, because honestly, the same thing happened with Mario Kart, where at first it wasn't working as a day stream. When we turned it to night streams, it worked for like over a month.
And here's Phil misleading you, because the first time he played Mario Kart, it was just single player for the most part, and it was a marathon. And the second time he played it was for like 50 minutes the day right after, where his fans were already burnt out from him playing boring single player Mario Kart. He wage quit the game, but then OnlyIcedCoffee behind the scenes convinced him to bring the game back into the rotation, and OnlyIcedCoffee paid for the game for almost 2 months. Like, single-handedly used his stock accounts to keep Mario Kart World in the rotation, and everybody had a ball. Because it was funny watching Phil rage at a party game and not understanding that you're not supposed to win every race in multiplayer. Since he's so stupid that he doesn't get that it wouldn't be fun if you won every race automatically, but I think Phil likes to win every single time, or it's just a bad time for him.
I think you're seeing a small change.